What sexual orientation do you identify as?
I'm a straight man.
Straight man.
Heterosexual.
Okay. What do you feel towards people who identify as other things?
I think that it's fine, that it's good, that you should do whatever you want to do.
What do you feel about the gay marriage laws in our country?
I think that people should love whoever they want to love. And, I mean, I understand both sides because my dad's against it, because he says that, you know, marriage is defined in the dictionary and whatever as a union between a man and a woman in order to create more men and women. So, I mean, I get that, but I also don't agree with it because I think that marriage is just between two people who love each other.
I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with it, like close on, like friend-wise, because most of the people, I think we tend to surround ourselves with people who are the same as us. So people who feel differently, do you? I think it's great. I think, you know, I think people should be allowed to do what they want. And sometimes with federal government stuff, and this is just like, I feel this way about a lot of things, is like, not about this, but the federal government sometimes gets too involved and does stuff, but like, I think with this, it was necessary. So I'm glad that people can get married. You know, my mom has two lesbian friends who are able to get married, and, you know, it's nice to see them happy.
What do you think about homophobia? Or how do you define homophobia?
I think homophobia is just people that are not accepting or tolerable of people that are homosexual or just different. Just if you, like transgender even. I mean, you don't have to just be gay. I think that it's just people who don't understand. And I think that if they understood and just kind of looked at it as this is another human being just like me, then everyone could kind of get along better.
How comfortable are you with gay people?
Comfortable. Pretty comfortable. You can talk to them, they're just regular people.
I feel comfortable around, you know, it's not like I'm going to make an effort to surround myself with gay people because we're not the same. And, you know, there are times, it's just my mentality, it's kind of ingrained, not necessarily ingrained, but like, you know, it's in there that like, you know, that's like, you know, not right, or like, it's like weird. Mm-hmm. So, which I think is something, you know, people like me will struggle with when they are around people like that, where, you know, if I know someone who's gay and they come to hug me, and I'm like, is this making me look gay? You know, is this like, it's like something you think of.
Do you think gay people are comfortable around you?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
You know, I really don't think so sometimes, because I feel like sometimes that vibe that I was just talking about will give off kind of like this uncomfortableness. The people that have come out as gay are very artistically kind of like, it's like we can't really relate on things sometimes. So I feel like I just don't have a lot of interaction with them.
Because I mean, I think that I'm open about, you know, everything. So, you know, even if you say something that I don't like, it doesn't matter what gender you are, you know, what preference you have, and I'm just going to say, I don't really agree with you, or I don't, you know, why do you think that, or stuff like that. So it's not, you know, it's not just being comfortable, it's just being open, like being able to communicate. So.
What are the gay/straight relations like in our school?
I don't really know. I think they're good. I mean, I feel like I've never spoken to someone who's homophobic at LaGuardia. Like, I hate gay people, or like gay people are bad, or, you know, I don't accept them, or, I mean, I spoke to someone once who, he just had a problem with like gay sex, which, I mean, you know, we don't really even talk about that kind of thing. So, like, I think they're fine. I think everyone's pretty open and stuff like that. And
I feel like the gay people at this school definitely have a lot of support from girls. They have a lot of friends who are girls, and the girls, well, they'll chill together. You know, I think with like straight guys and gay guys, it's just kind of hard to have, you know, a friendship like, you know, the straight guy will always kind of be like, you know, like, do you like me or something? Like, it's like something that just kind of happens.
Okay. So now we're going to show you the video.
So, George, what is your sexual orientation?
I'm gay.
What do you identify as?
Person.
What is your sexual identity?
Bisexual. Well, pansexual.
I don't exactly know what pansexual is.
Oh my god, yeah. It was very, very hard. Yeah, it's very hard because the thing is, I had to find myself and be like, you know what? This is who I am. And I've always had a fear that people would not like me and whatnot. That's what really kept me back from accepting myself.
In so many scenarios, people who are struggling with their sexuality have to repress so much that it takes such a toll on people. And
Are you out?
I am completely out.
there was never a moment where I actually came out to any large number of people, mostly because I didn't feel like it was necessary.
This is who I am, and that's what it is.
Do you ever find people to be uncomfortable if they know or if they assume
Yes.
something?
Yeah. Sometimes people won't change in front of me, which is weird because, just because you have vagina doesn't mean I want to put my face in it. I don't know. Have fun sharing that with the class. Anyway, yeah.
For the straight guys, it depends. It depends on the guy, because if I know the guy is homophobic, but they're still my friend, I definitely would not have the same relationship with them as before. Sometimes they're kind of scared, you can say, because then they're like, "Whoa, dude, you can come off, like you're gonna start flirting with me." No.
What are your opinions towards how America has changed?
I mean, I think it's kind of a no-brainer that it be allowed.
It took them so many years. So, what the fuck, in my mind? Why did it take you so many years? So that's the same. And also, some states right now still are trying to get themselves away from that.
Sometimes it blows my mind that it's 2016 now, but that it took that long for it, I guess, for us as a population to be granted that right. But I'm glad that we were.
Do you ever hear homophobic slurs directed at you?
I was on the subway once, and this guy sitting across from me, I was sitting next to my girlfriend, and I don't know what we were doing, nothing incredibly graphic. And he goes, "Ma'am?" And I was like, "What, yes?" And he looks me in the eye, and he goes, "You're a disgusting piece of shit." And I was like, "Oh, wow, okay." I thought it was weird that he decided to start the sentence with, "Excuse me, ma'am." I was like, you can just... Why start off polite if it's going to end like that?
People always say, God hates this. God, 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 God. Where in the Bible is it? I want someone to just show me in the Bible where it is. I'm not going to lie. When I came to this school, I thought everything was going to be okie dokie. Because I'm it's LaGuardia. Majority of the guys are gay here. In this school, there were still threats being made to me. And out of school and whatnot. Every day, I have a fear that there's going to be a threat. Every day, I have a fear that there's going to be a threat, in any type of way.
And I don't know why people are under the impression that if they picket and they refuse to marry people or yell at people walking down the street. I don't know why that they think that that's going to change anything.
What do people do that is actually homophobia, even though they may not realize it?
Definitely when a lot of guys, they're together and they say something like, oh, I love you, no homo. That's homophobic. I'm sorry, like, why, don't say no homo, like, just say the word I fucking love. I love you. Okay, go ahead, but don't say no homo. That is extremely homophobic.
Also, being bisexual or pansexual or whatever, there's also this common misconception that I'll sort of sleep with anyone, which is really not true to any degree. It's like, oh, well, you're so lucky you have a larger dating pool, which, like, I guess is kind of true, but I'm still surrounded by the same amount of assholes as everybody else.
Do you think things can get better? And what can straight people do?
My big thing is just be quiet. Just don't say anything. It's like what we say when we're young. If you don't have anything good to say, then don't say it.
Do you think it'll ever fully go away? Homophobia.
I think people are always going to be afraid of things that are different from them because it's a survival instinct, and I think that we may also destroy this planet before people are able to actually come to terms with it. But I hope so. I hope that it goes away because no one deserves to feel like they aren't worthy of anything.
How did you feel about what they said? Did you agree, disagree?
I think a lot of it was just things that I have heard already from people that I know who are gay. But I mean, I didn't really recognize, I did, I guess, subconsciously, like, know that, like, when people are like, I love you, no homo. Like, subconsciously, I was always kind of like, you don't have to add that. Like, it's not like a necessary, like, we know that you're not, So, I think that was kind of like, he said, like, that's homophobic. I was kind of like, oh, you're right. And I knew that, but, like, I never said anything.
I think a lot of it kind of correlates with what I said in both ways of, like, how I was talking about from, like, the kind of very accepting perspective of, like, modern world, and then also the very kind of natural instinct to, like, reject.
I think I kind of expected a lot of the answers that they were giving.
I was definitely surprised that Zoe got called a piece of shit on the train. That sucks. No one should have to do that or have to go through that.
Have you ever said no homo?
Maybe when it first became, like, a really big thing.
I don't really say it anymore. It's not something really people say anymore. It was more of like a kind of freshman year trend, 8th grade. People used to say that a lot.
I probably only said it once or twice. I think because so many people were saying it that I was kind of like, yeah, like, no homo.
Why do you think people use phrases that are offensive to some groups of people, like no homo or the N-word, when it's popular?
I think just because everyone's doing it, so you almost don't, like, think about it. You're kind of just like, oh, I love you, no homo, obviously. It's like, okay, but, you kind of almost don't think.
I feel like we hear these things and we just say them. It's like slang. It's like how you say, like OD or like you'd be like word. It's like just stuff you say. And, wherever it comes from.
I think because we hear people say it and it's almost colloquial.
Have you seen girls uncomfortable changing in front of other sexually preferenced girls?
No. I can't say I've ever seen it. But I do know that a few years ago there was a rumor that a girl in the drama department was, like, bisexual or, like, into girls or, like, questioning herself. And I did hear a few girls talking just that I didn't really know or talk to that were kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to change in here anymore. And I kind of turned around and I was like, she's not gonna have a crush on you just because you're a girl.
I mean, for me, like for me, when that issue comes up, it's like I don't really feel uncomfortable. I'm confident in my body. Like I look fine, so I'm not gonna worry. I kind of just keep it to myself. I'm like, you know, I'm changing, you're changing, so whatever.
I said, like, you know, boys, we see boys without their shirts on and we don't just fall in love. I mean, it's not like a big deal. We're kind of like, oh, but like, you know, she's questioning. Like, I don't want to be the one to like set her off. I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, that doesn't. I was like you see a boy literally without any clothes on, and you're like, oh, I don't care if I'm not interested. I'm like, we're all interested in people that aren't everybody, that isn't everybody. So I mean, I haven't heard of it since then. I haven't seen it or anything like that.
Do you still think gay-straight relations are good in our school after watching this?
I guess maybe they're not as good as I thought they were. Maybe I'm just, you know, my friends are just the people who are very much like, cool, you do whatever you want to do, as opposed to, you know, I actually, as George was saying it, I said to myself, like, I remember him talking like about that like a year or two ago and thinking like, this is LaGuardia. Like, you can't be yourself here. Like, where are you ever going to be yourself?
I feel like it depends. I feel like there's definitely some uncomfortableness around there. And I feel like, you know, gay guys won't talk to me. I don't know if it's because they think I'm like homophobic or if they just don't like or like connect with me. I don't know what the reason is. You know, watching this video probably helped me understand a little bit more from two kids that I know and go to school with, you know, how it is working. I definitely think, you know, in the country, not at all. Then they're terrible.